Alright guys, MCU Collection here with another figure countdown lineup, best of, what ranking, whatever video. Here we have the highly anticipated, I don't know if anybody actually anticipated this, but this is my top 10 Marvel Legends figures of 2024. I think this list, more than any other list, is going to get a lot of people in the comments saying, what the hell were you thinking? And hear me out. One, this list is of my own personal opinion on just what I enjoyed. It's not going to be subjective in any way. Some of it obviously will kind of be based on, oh, this figure comes with a tremendous amount of accessories and it's just a really good body and all this and that. But mainly it comes down to, what do I think of the figure? Did I get a lot of enjoyment out of it? Its representation to what drives me, whether it's MCU based or comic based of what I remember, things like that. As you can see, there's a bunch of figures here. There's more than 10. This is going to be a top 10. So I have like 2 honorable mentions. And the 2 honorable mentions are probably going to get people talking like, come on, those are some awesome figures. Probably better than some of the ones on your list. That may be true. But again, this is just my personal opinion on what I think of these figures. This is just kind of what I pieced together at this particular moment. You ask me a different time, I'm going to say, oh yeah, I love that figure. Why didn't I include it in my top 10? A couple of things. It could be because I just didn't think of it at the time, or at the moment I wasn't feeling it, or whatever the case may be. My opinion could change literally at any moment, and it can kind of go that way. But much like my top 10 action figures of 2024, we're just going to kind of go in order here, and we'll take a look at it. But I want to talk about my 2 honorable mentions. And again, I think people are probably going to get mad at these 2 honorable mentions, but I got to talk about them. So my 2 honorable mentions are actually going to be the Marvel 85th Anniversary Warbird, Carol Danvers, Miss Marvel, and the Astonishing X-Men Wolverine. 2 very good figures for sure, but for me, didn't quite crack the top 10. Miss Marvel Warbird is an awesome figure. It's a Target exclusive. It has the Ultra Articulation. Really good. Wolverine has that same Ultra Articulation. New sculpting. We're fully pinless here. It just doesn't quite make it for me. Like, if we had a fully articulated, like, Tiger Stripe Wolverine, not that we need another one, but if we did with this articulation scheme, it probably would have hit my top 10. We had gotten the X-Men 97 Wolverine, and that's a really good one, but if it had that articulation, maybe, again, it would have cracked the top 10. So these are my 2 honorable mentions. At any other point in time, or possibly later on, I could look back and say, you know what? Those were absolutely top 10 worthy. It's just, for me, in this particular moment, they are not. So there we go. So now let's go ahead and get on to number 10. Okay, so I should have mentioned this earlier, kind of how I set the rules on how I do a top 10. A couple of simple rules. I had to have obtained the figure in the year that I am doing the list based off of. So any figure that I got in actual 2024 would be eligible, whether it was a figure that was older and came out years before, or if it's quote-unquote a 2025 figure, but I got my hands on it in 2024. Now, the Falcon figure from Captain America Brave New World is my number 10. And a couple of things. Yes, it's kind of a 2025 figure, although the official street date was December 31st, 2024. So I would argue that it's a 2024 figure. But either way, I got it before Christmas, and I love this. This thing really, really surprised the hell out of me. I didn't think much of it, if I'm being completely honest with you. But then having it in hand, I'm really, really liking it. I love what they did with the wings. The Captain America figure has even better wings, so that maybe you could go that, as in terms of the better figure. But this one, because it's a new version of Falcon, it's an MCU figure, and I think they did a really good likeness to the actor in there, and I just like the helmets. I like what they did with this. For me, it's my top 10, number 10. I really enjoy it. Hopefully you guys like it too. Let's go on to number 9. Okay, number 9 for me is going to be the 2-pack of the Marvel Legends Infinity War. I guess you could do them for Endgame too, but the Outriders. The Outriders, long time coming, way overdue. Now we need some Chitauri. So army builders are a thing. These ones came out pretty good. I wouldn't say that they're the greatest, but this one is going to be one of those where it really represents what the figures represent, and that's finally getting some army builders for the MCU. Maybe we can get some Chitauri in the future. Who knows? Probably not. Maybe we'll get Dark Elves. Definitely not on those ones. Maybe we'll get Nova Corps. Highly unlikely. But we got the Outriders. And these ones came out pretty good. They're cool. They're big. They've got articulation in a bunch of different places. You know, they got the diaphragm cut. They got the inverted ab. They got 6 arms. We get a couple of different heads. There's 3 in total. So there's some good stuff going on here that I really like. In my review, I had discussed something about how you want to get it into a dog pose, but you can't get the head up. Some people, what they did is, like, if you do the torso, if you flip the torso around and do the head like that there, and then you kind of get it into a dog-like position, it kind of works if that's what you want to do. It's not, I mean, it works, but it's not like the greatest or anything. But it's something that you could do. So you have that option there. So, you know, if that's what you want to do, it's good. But I'm very happy to have these again. This is just more what they represent. Finally getting some additional figures from the Infinity Saga, some army builders. So I love when we get to get figures based on characters from even past years. You know, they didn't get to them at the time of the movie, which is unfortunate. But when we can go back and get some additional ones, I absolutely love it. So those are my number 9. Let's go ahead and get into number 8. Okay, so not a steadfast rule that I wouldn't include a Build-A-Figure, although I think Build-A-Figures have an unfair advantage when I rank like a particular wave, but they're fair game when it comes to like the overall year. So my number 8 goes to the Zabu Build-A-Figure. And, you know, we only had so many Build-A-Figures this year. For me, I got the Void in 2023, so that one would not be eligible for 2024. And that's a good one. It's not great. And so this year, I think we only got the Zabu Build-A-Figure and the Blackheart Build-A-Figure. So for, you know, I think it was only 3 Build-A-Figures for the entire year. That's not a whole lot. Am I missing a wave? I feel like, I don't think I'm missing a wave. Am I missing a wave? I don't think I'm missing a wave. So there's 3 Build-A-Figures, depending on when you would have gotten the Void. So Build-A-Figures should be really good figures. And for the most part, they are. There have been some in the past where may not have been great, or they may have been undersized, smaller figures. But Zabu is not one of them. Zabu came out great. I mean, he's an animal, and he's got all the articulation you could ever want. You know, you look at a figure like Lockjaw. Well, I didn't hate the Lockjaw figure. Limited articulation. I mean, his body doesn't move. You get posed legs that you could just swap out the legs. Zabu's got all the articulation at the paws, the ankles, the shoulders, the knees. I don't know, you know, animal anatomy, but all the articulation in places that you could want. You get good paint apps across, kind of bringing out the color definition of the fur. Just looks really good. I really like it. Plus, you have this articulated jaw in there. That's really nice. You know, we got Kazar. I'm sure we will continue to get some additional Savage Land figures, like Charles Xavier Savage Land. That figure is coming out. That's going to be a Target exclusive. It goes up for pre-order next week or this coming week. Well, I guess this is Sunday, the first that this video going up. So this week. So there we go. But Zabu came out great and a pretty good wave to boot. So you guys let me know what you guys think of the Zabu Build-A-Figure at my number 8 spot. So now we're going to move on to number 7. Okay, number 7 goes to Saber-tooth. This was in a 2-pack with Logan, Wolverine, part of the Wolverine 50th anniversary. And this is one where I feel like I added it in just to add it in because people probably would have been like, how did you not include Saber-tooth? I'm still really happy with the figure, don't get me wrong. But, you know, I think if I were to try and think about a different list or ranking, I probably wouldn't include Saber-tooth, and especially not as high up. Maybe he should have been honorable mentions, you know, when I really look at it. But at the time that I did the ranking, I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, Saber-tooth was really good. I really like the size of him, and it's, you know, this, when I think Saber-tooth, this is exactly what I think of with Saber-tooth. The weird thing about him is we had pinned knees, but we had pinless elbows, which were great. So, you know, we had some new stuff going on there. It would have been nice to get all pinless. But, you know, the yellow goes with the yellow, so there's no issues there. It's just, you know, when you mix and match, it's weird. Like, go all pins, okay, whatever. Go all pinless, awesome, all right. You go half and half, it's a bit weird, but, you know, it's not the end of the world. So that's why he's on the list, because, you know, again, super accurate representation to what I think of Saber-tooth. To what he looks like, you know, when I think of Saber-tooth. So on to number 6. Okay, number 6 goes to my deluxe or 2-pack. I guess it'd be more deluxe. Jean Grey with Phoenix Force. I really like this figure. It's Jean Grey. It's the Phoenix to me. The previous ones that we got were no good, right? The older female body, the super thin legs, just not good. This one is the ultra articulated female body. It's really nice. The Phoenix Force stand, really cool. I really like it. Now, people don't like the price on this. $49.99. Is that a lot? Absolutely. Do I think it's overpriced? Not necessarily. Like the Phoenix Force and base and everything like that is almost like a figure itself with the amount of plastic and things like that. Yes, it's not articulated, but it comes apart into 2 different pieces. The Phoenix Force head does articulate there. It is really cool. So I don't necessarily disagree with the price, but for those that were able to get in like early pre-orders through Big Bad Toy Store for the $34.99, I think Entertainment Earth may have made that mistake too. And then Target had it for $34.99 in store, which it didn't last. So if you were lucky enough to get it for the $34.99, absolutely worth the price. $49.99, I don't necessarily think that it's too crazy that it's priced that way, but that's just my opinion. People hate that. They get mad at that. They scream shill, whatever the case may be. If you can get it for cheaper, get it for cheaper. You know, I don't know. Maybe you play the long game. Maybe you can find it for cheaper. I don't know. But I really like the figure. That's why it is my number 6. The accessories on it were really good. We got a couple of different Jean Grey heads. And then just the Phoenix Force. Just look how cool it looks like on the base and everything like that. I just love that you could do that. You know, you can get her to stand up on there and just have this like whole flame effect. It's just really cool. I really like it. My number 6. Let's go on to number 5. Okay, my number 5 goes to Iron Fist. This was part of the Marvel 85th anniversary. Very good anniversary line, right? Gave us a lot of really good figures. And, you know, 2 of my honorable mentions were the 85th anniversary. A couple of my top 5 are the 85th anniversary. So a lot of good stuff going on, you know, in 2024 for Marvel Legends. But here with the number 5 is Iron Fist specifically. He was in a 2-pack with Luke Cage, Heroes for Hire. That Luke Cage figure was better than the previous Luke Cage, classic Luke Cage figure that we had gotten. Not a perfect figure by any means, but a really good representation for Luke Cage. Absolutely. But Iron Fist stole the show with the 2-pack. Because he's the ultra articulated body, it's just a really fun figure to play around with, and it just works out really cool. Like the calf swivel, you know, being there so you can get the molded plastic in the skin tone so you don't get paint where it looks really bad or anything like that. We got the toe articulation. Just a really good figure, really fun to play with and pose around and move around. I'm very happy with it, so that's why he is my number 5. You guys let me know what you guys think of it. I just noticed that it looks like I got some paint scuffs or, you know, some missing paint in there. It looks like it kind of got, you know, some paint rubbed off in some places, so that kind of sucks on there. But Iron Fist 85th anniversary, my number 5. Let's go on and move into number 4. Okay, my number 4 goes to a crazy 3-pack. So the S.H.I.E.L.D 3-pack, where we got Dum Dum Dugan, we've got Sharon Carter, Agent 13, and we've got Nick Fury Jr. A solid 3-pack where you look at this and you see these potentially army builders, if that's what you wanted to do. But we get these known S.H.I.E.L.D. agents here. And the really cool thing is they all have different things going on with them. So like the Dum Dum Dugan figure and the Nick Fury Jr., they have different torsos. They have different bodies. They have some of the same pieces and stuff. Like the arms, I think, are the same. The legs are probably the same. But like the harnesses, the bandoliers, or whatever they're called. And then the belts are different. And then the different torsos, which is really cool. And then Sharon Carter reuses that Black Widow body, which is really nice. There. We get a bunch of accessories. So many weapons. So many hands. Just all kinds of crazy things going on with this 3-pack. So that's why, for me, it is worthy of the number 4 spot. But not only that, you have Nick Fury Jr. Excuse me. Whoop, spoiler alert. I messed that up. We've got Nick Fury Jr. So it came with an additional swappable head so you could do a Nick Fury Sr. So what I went ahead and did is I acquired another figure, another body, so I can have my Nick Fury Sr. as well. So I've got a 3-pack, but I've got 4 figures, so I can have both Nick Fury Jr. and Nick Fury Sr. So a lot of cool things that you could do with stuff like that. And I didn't test it, and I don't have any handy, but if you have like the S.H.I.E.L.D. Agent ones, any of the previous ones, or the Army Builder pack from Hasbro Pulse, if you have like the helmeted S.H.I.E.L.D. agent head, those will probably work on these bodies. And there you can have like, that's when you can make it like Army Builders, potentially, if that's what you want to do. So really cool options there, but it was just loaded with accessories and all kinds of great stuff. So that's why S.H.I.E.L.D. Agent 3-pack. Again, it's just a 3-pack. 3-pack is my number 4. Let's go on to number 3. Okay, my number 3 is the Marvel 85th Anniversary, the Superior Spider-Man. This is not, well, it's Peter Parker. It's not just Peter Parker. It's Otto Octavius's brain waves, not his actual brain, his brain waves in Peter Parker's body. So, it's kind of a more sinister Spider-Man. He's got a little bit of a darker side to him. And, you know, that's reflected in the darker suit there. So this is a very articulated body. It is not the ultra articulated body because we don't have the inverted ab and the diaphragm. But I guess you couldn't do that because of the backpack piece. And you could always swap this out. So you can have the backpack piece either on there, like so, or you can have just like the plain backpack without the additional legs on there. I guess, I don't know if these ones are referred to as Waldos. The Iron Spider legs would be. But this one's just an awesome set. We get a couple of different heads with this unique feature of this reflective skyline look in the lenses, which I thought was really cool. You know, we had a previous Superior Spider-Man figure that at the time was good. It was on the pizza body mold, even though I had a different torso that I think was never ever used again. That was a really good one. You know, people enjoyed that one, but now we have a better one with better proportions, just a better figure all around. We got the toe articulation on this guy, but the spider legs really sets it off. The gauntlet pieces there are nice. Kind of the clawed finger hands are a nice touch. So really cool figure, part of the Marvel 85th Anniversary, the Superior Spider-Man. Now, let's go ahead and get on into the number 2. And spoiler alert, if you watched my top 10 action figures of 2024, you knew that these were going to be my top 2. And if you watched that video, you know which one is number 2 and which one is number 1. So number 2 is the Wolverine. Hugh Jackman's Wolverine in a yellow and blue X-Men suit. Again, if you watch that video, you will understand the reasonings why this figure would make my top 10. It's not a perfect figure by any means, and I know a lot of people out there really don't like this figure and you know, have things to say about it, comic accuracy or movie accuracy. You know, he's not supposed to have the sleeves on there with the cowled head. I mean, you could have the Hugh Jackman head on there if you want. It's a very clean figure. He should be really dirty. Like, all those different things. Sure, I get it. Is his anatomy weird? The hips are a little bit weird. The boot thing is weird. But this figure represents all the Marvel movies, all the X-Men movies that we've had in the past 20 plus years. Finally, Hugh Jackman, Wolverine in a yellow and blue suit, and I am just loving it because it's just so cool. The Deadpool and Wolverine movie, extremely funny, so good. Just don't think about logic in any way, and the movie makes sense. I get that the movie has its issues, but if you just want to enjoy it for what it is, have some laughs, that's what it's all about for me. I know it's not perfect, but I still love it. The figure is not perfect, but I still love it. Wolverine, that's like, you can't even find this in store. Like, as soon as any store might get it, they're selling it out right away. Like, it's pre-order or sold out everywhere. So everybody that, you know, doesn't like this figure, I mean, people still want it and people still can't get a hold of it, and it's just an absolute beauty to me, regardless of its flaws. I'm really loving it. He's my number 2. Almost could have made my number 1, but the number 1 goes to the Punisher. Such a good figure, loaded with accessories. He comes in a 2-pack with Bushwhacker, which is not great, but this Punisher is awesome. One thing that could have made this even better is if he had white boots and white gloves. This one does not, because this one is based off of the Punisher, the War Journal, so that's why this, you know, the skull, the eyes are a little bit lower and stuff there. But we just get a lot of really good stuff with this. But more importantly, what this means for the future as well is we get this new, the torso is going to be new. So this new body where it's got the diaphragm cut and the inverted ab in there. So this new ultra articulated articulated body with the butterfly joints in there and everything. That is just a bulkier body. So, you know, what's to come? What characters could use this body mold? You guys let me know down in the comments below what you guys, who you think will come with this body. But it's just a really good Punisher figure. Not that, I mean, we've had quite a few Punisher figures in the past that were just like kind of all okay. This is just, you know, in my opinion, the absolute best one, and such a good figure. And that's the reason why it's my number one Marvel Legends figure of 2024. I just think it's that good. So you guys give me your thoughts. What did you think of my list, my ranking of 2024? Did you agree? Did you disagree? How would you rank it? What is your top 10? Let me know down in the comments below. I'll have some links in the video description below. If you're looking to pick up any of these figures, maybe you missed out on them, didn't think about them, or just haven't picked them up yet, I'll have links so you guys could check them out. But thank you for watching. This is my 2024 top 10. Again, my list is based off of my personal opinion in a particular moment and could change whenever. Like, even I'm like not having second thoughts on where I rank Saber-tooth, you know, versus Warbird and Wolverine, if I should have included them and pushed Saber-tooth. So it's just kind of all those different things. So it's not a perfect system by any means, but it's just kind of the best thing that I could kind of get going in that particular moment. So you guys give me your thoughts down in the comments below. If you guys like this video, please do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe if you haven't already done so, and as always, thank you for watching.